When you wake up in the morning and feel that familiar stiffness in your knees, your hips, or your shoulders, it can feel like your body is gently reminding you that you are not in your 20s anymore. For many people over 50, joint stiffness is a daily companion. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be this way. Stiff joints aren't just an inevitable part of aging. They are often a sign that our bodies are craving movement, care, and the right kind of attention. Today, we're going to talk about the best stretches you can do to improve flexibility, ease discomfort, and help your joints feel younger, freer, and more capable. And along the way, I'll share real stories from people just like you who have seen incredible changes by making stretching a daily habit. First, let's understand why joints get stiff as we age. The cartilage in our joints naturally begins to thin, and the production of synovial fluid, which acts like lubrication for your joints, slows down. That means movements that once felt smooth and effortless can start to feel tight or even uncomfortable. Add to that the fact that many of us sit more than we used to, whether it's for work, watching TV, or simply because we're not as active as before, and you've got the perfect recipe for stiffness. But here's the good news: gentle, consistent stretching can improve circulation to your joints, stimulate the production of that lubricating fluid, and even help maintain the health of your cartilage by keeping it nourished and oxygenated. I want to introduce you to Carol, a 62-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. For years, she dealt with stiffness in her hips and lower back that made gardening her favorite hobby painful. She thought it was just old age, until her doctor recommended a daily stretching routine. Within 3 weeks, she was back in her garden, kneeling and bending without that sharp, achy feeling. What changed? She committed to just 15 minutes of gentle stretches each morning. And that's exactly what we're going to learn today: simple, effective stretches that anyone can do, no matter your current level of flexibility. Let's start with one of the most important areas: your hips. The hip flexor stretch is essential for anyone who spends time sitting. Begin by standing near a chair or countertop for support. Step your right foot back, bend your left knee slightly, and gently push your hips forward until you feel a stretch in the front of your right hip. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply, and then switch sides. This stretch not only eases stiffness in your hips but can also improve your walking stride and posture. Next, let's focus on your shoulders. Shoulder stiffness is common after 50, especially if you've had a frozen shoulder in the past or simply spend a lot of time at a desk. Try the crossbody shoulder stretch. Bring your right arm across your chest, use your left hand to gently pull it closer to your body, and hold for 20 seconds. Repeat on the other side. This stretch can make everyday movements like reaching into a cupboard or putting on a jacket feel smoother and less restricted. Now, we can't forget about the knees. Tightness around the knees often comes from stiffness in the surrounding muscles, like the quadriceps and hamstrings. One of the best ways to relieve that is with a simple seated hamstring stretch. Sit at the edge of a sturdy chair, extend one leg straight in front of you with your heel on the floor, and gently lean forward from your hips until you feel a stretch along the back of your thigh. Keep your back straight and breathe deeply as you hold the stretch for 20 seconds. Then switch legs. It's amazing how much relief this simple move can bring. As we go through these stretches, remember this: stretching is not about pushing yourself into discomfort. In fact, the key to lasting results is gentleness and consistency. You want to feel a mild to moderate stretch, never pain. Your joints respond best to kindness, not force, and that's where so many people go wrong. They think if a little stretching is good, then more must be better. But overstretching can actually cause tiny injuries that make stiffness worse. I'll share more about how to stretch safely in just a moment. But before we move on, let's talk about one of the most overlooked aspects of joint health: your breath. When you stretch, your breathing should be slow, deep, and intentional. This not only helps your muscles relax but also improves oxygen flow to your joints, enhancing the benefits of each movement. Try this with your next stretch. Inhale slowly through your nose, feel your belly expand. And as you exhale, imagine the tension melting away from your joints. Carol told me that learning to breathe properly during her stretches made a huge difference not just in how she felt physically, but in how calm and centered she felt afterward. That's the beauty of stretching. It's not just physical therapy for your joints, it's therapy for your mind as well. One of the most powerful stretches for easing stiffness, especially in the spine and upper back, is the seated spinal twist. This movement helps keep your spine mobile and can even improve digestion by gently massaging your abdominal organs. Sit on a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the ground. Place your right hand on the outside of your left thigh and your left hand on the back of the chair. Gently twist your torso to the left, keeping your hips facing forward, and hold for 15 to 20 seconds. Breathe deeply as you do this, feeling the gentle rotation along your spine. Return to center and repeat on the other side. This is especially beneficial for those who feel tightness after long periods of sitting. Now, let us work on the ankles, a part of the body we often overlook until they start giving us trouble. Healthy ankle mobility is key for balance and preventing falls, which becomes even more important after age 50. Try simple ankle circles while seated. Lift one foot slightly off the floor and slowly rotate your ankle clockwise for 10 circles. Then counterclockwise for another 10. Switch to the other foot. You'll be surprised how this small movement can improve your overall walking comfort. Next, we'll target the neck. Neck stiffness is incredibly common, especially for those who spend time looking down at phones or working on computers. The side neck stretch is simple yet highly effective. Sit or stand tall. Drop your right ear toward your right shoulder without raising your shoulder, and hold for 20 seconds. You can gently place your right hand on the side of your head for a deeper stretch. But don't pull, switch sides. This helps ease tension in the muscles that connect to your shoulders and upper back, improving posture and reducing headaches caused by muscle tightness. It's important to note that while stretching is a wonderful tool, it works best when combined with regular movement throughout the day. Our bodies are designed to move, and joints thrive when they are taken through their full range of motion often. That's why, if you're doing these stretches once in the morning, try to sprinkle in mini movement breaks during the day. Stand up, walk around, or even repeat one or two of your favorite stretches in the afternoon. I want to share the story of Robert, a 68-year-old retired engineer from Arizona. For years, Robert experienced stiffness in his knees that made it hard to play with his grandkids. He was afraid he'd never get back to his active self. But after committing to a daily routine that included ankle mobility exercises, hamstring stretches, and gentle squats, his mobility improved so much that he now goes hiking with his family every weekend. What changed for Robert wasn't just the stretches, it was the consistency and his mindset shift from "I am too old for this" to "I can get better with the right habits." This is such a powerful reminder. Our joints respond to what we do most often. If we spend most of the day sitting and rarely moving them, stiffness will set in. But if we treat movement as medicine, we can keep our joints healthy for decades. Let's also talk about the importance of warming up before stretching. If you stretch cold muscles, you might not get the full benefit and could even risk a strain. Something as simple as walking in place for 2 to 3 minutes, swinging your arms gently, or doing slow marching steps can warm up your muscles and prepare your joints for stretching. This small step makes a big difference in both safety and results. Another tip is to be mindful of symmetry. If you only stretch one side or always favor one leg, you can create imbalances that might lead to discomfort or even injury over time. Make it a habit to stretch both sides equally, even if one side feels tighter. Over time, that balance will help you move more freely. Let us try a full body stretch that feels wonderful first thing in the morning. The standing overhead reach. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, interlace your fingers, and reach your arms overhead, palms facing up. Take a deep breath in and lengthen through your spine. Then exhale and gently lean to one side for 10 seconds. Feeling the stretch along the side of your body. Come back to center and repeat on the other side. This opens up your rib cage, improves posture, and gently engages the muscles that support your spine. And here's a key thing to remember: flexibility gains don't happen overnight. They come from showing up day after day, even if you only have 5 minutes. Consistency beats intensity every time. I often tell my clients that stretching is like brushing your teeth. You don't do it once and expect to be set for life. You do it daily to maintain and protect what you have. The wonderful thing is, once stretching becomes a habit, it feels so good you'll actually look forward to it. You'll start to notice that the morning stiffness eases faster, that it's easier to bend down and tie your shoes, and that you feel more confident moving through your day. In our final section, I'll guide you through how to put all these stretches together into a simple, 10-minute daily routine that you can adapt to your needs. Plus some powerful mindset tips to keep you motivated. Now that we've explored individual stretches, let's put them together into a short, easy-to-follow daily routine. This sequence will target all major joints, promote flexibility, and leave you feeling more mobile and energized. Start with a warm-up. March in place for 2 minutes, swinging your arms gently. Then move into the hip flexor stretch. Right foot back, left knee slightly bent, hips forward, 20 seconds each side. From there, step into the seated hamstring stretch. Sit at the edge of a chair, one leg extended, lean forward from the hips, hold 20 seconds per side. Next, shift into the crossbody shoulder stretch, 20 seconds each arm, then the side neck stretch, 20 seconds each side. Add in ankle circles, 10 each direction per ankle, then the seated spinal twist, 15 seconds per side. Finish with the standing overhead reach, leaning gently side to side. This whole sequence will take you about 10 minutes, yet it covers your entire body. You can do it in the morning to set a positive tone for the day, or in the evening to unwind and ease any stiffness you've built up. The beauty of this routine is that you can adjust it. On days when you feel more energetic, you can repeat the sequence 2 or 3 times. On days when you feel tired or sore, you can shorten it to just a few key stretches. The goal is not perfection, it's consistency. Now, let's talk about motivation. One of the biggest challenges people face when starting a stretching routine is sticking with it. Life gets busy, and when you don't see immediate results, it's tempting to stop. But remember, stiffness doesn't develop overnight, and neither does flexibility. Think of it as an investment. Each time you stretch, you're putting a little more mobility in the bank, and over time, those deposits add up to big changes. I've seen people who could barely touch their knees with straight legs go on to touch their toes after a few months. I've seen shoulders that used to ache when lifting a grocery bag move freely again. And it's not just about physical improvement, it's about confidence. When you know your body can move comfortably, you feel more capable in every area of life. That's why I encourage you to link your stretching routine to something you already do every day. For example, stretch right after you brush your teeth in the morning, or while waiting for your coffee to brew. This makes it harder to forget and easier to turn into a habit. You can even keep a gentle reminder for yourself, a sticky note on the bathroom mirror that says stretch, or a recurring phone alarm. Another tip: track your progress, but not just in terms of how far you can reach. Pay attention to the little changes. Maybe you notice that getting up from a chair feels easier, or that you can walk farther without feeling stiff. These small wins are worth celebrating because they're signs that your body is responding. And don't underestimate the role of hydration in joint health. Your joints are cushioned by synovial fluid, which is made mostly of water. If you're dehydrated, that fluid becomes less effective. So, keep your water intake steady throughout the day. It's a simple yet powerful way to support your stretching efforts. I also want to address the fear some people have about stretching with existing joint issues like arthritis. If you have a medical condition, always talk to your doctor before starting a new routine. But in many cases, gentle stretching can be a safe and beneficial way to keep joints mobile. The key is to listen to your body. If a stretch causes sharp pain, stop immediately and adjust. Remember, stretching should feel good, like you're giving your joints the gift of movement. To close, I want to return to the story of Carol and Robert. Both of them started their stretching journey with doubt. They wondered if it was too late to feel flexible again. But what they discovered was that our bodies are incredibly adaptable. No matter your age, you can improve your mobility, reduce stiffness, and feel better in your own skin. All it takes is a few minutes each day, done with care and intention. So, if you've been living with stiff joints, I invite you to try this routine for just 2 weeks. Commit to it, breathe through each stretch, and notice how your body responds. You might be surprised at how quickly you feel a difference, and once you do, you'll realize that this isn't just about stretching your joints, it's about stretching your possibilities. Your body is designed to move, and by giving it the movement it craves, you're choosing a future with more freedom, more comfort, and more joy. So take a deep breath, roll your shoulders back, and start today. Your joints will thank you tomorrow, and for years to come.